Hey, what is up guys? Guitar here, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Now, I haven't been able to live stream for the last couple of days because I'm currently having some internet connectivity issues. So for those of you who are not aware, I did posted a post yesterday, I think. So yeah, technician came over. Apparently I won't have internet for the next 3 to 4 days, which is unfortunate. So in case you guys are wondering, how am I able to upload this video then, right? So I am either going to McDonald's or Starbucks to hopefully borrow their Wi-Fi, and yeah, I'll see how it goes. If not, I'll just try to ask my friend for some help. Hopefully I can use his Wi-Fi when he's back home, but ideally let's talk a little bit about Ganyu. Alright, so as you can see in the background, this is me, just footage of me playing using my phone. Now I still have mobile data, although my Wi-Fi is down, I still have mobile data. It's not extremely fast. As you can see, the ping there is definitely higher than the standard when I usually play on my PC. But I have been farming a lot for Ganyu's artifacts. Alright, I'm just preparing or prepping depending on how you look at it. So let's talk a little bit about Ganyu since her skills are officially out. Not the numbers though, but we sort of know like what she does. Alright, there's a post on Hoyo Lab. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, let's talk about Ganyu's skills for a little bit. Alright, talents. So ideally, she has 2 levels of charge where, as a bow user, most bow users will have like charge all the way, and then it will deal their elemental damage. Alright, with Amber you will deal Pyro, with Venti you will deal Animal, but Ganyu deals Cryo, similar to Diona, but she has a 2nd level of charge, and this seems to deal like a massive or sort of a slightly bigger AoE area that deals Cryo damage to all the enemies. Now I like how in this particular talent picture right here, it's actually showing that the enemies are wet, so that you can actually portray the frozen status. But in ideal case scenario, you might want to bring a hydro, right? So if you want this to be consistent enough, like in places where there's no water or sea nearby, so having something like Xingqiu I think would be very beneficial, and that's also one unit that I hope will be in her banner, and it will be a big boost or big help for those of you who are trying to pull her in her banner. Now for those of you who are wondering, I am definitely pulling for her because if you guys didn't follow my live stream or my post, basically I did got a Chi-Chi, alright, C1 constellation, unfortunately in my most recent pull in the Albedo banner. So with that being said, my next pull is guaranteed to be a character rate up banner unit. Alright, so in that case, if I pull on Ganyu's banner, I am guaranteed to obtain her. Okay, so looking at this kit, alright, this looks pretty cool, right? You gotta have a good bow, and I do have a couple of bows laying around. I'm not too sure what would be the best fit for her. Obviously, she seems like she can go that support route. Alright, let's have a look at her skills before we talk about theory crafting of weapons. Alright, so talents. So look at this. This is called Trail of the Killing. Now as you can see here, alright, so when Ganyu places down her elemental skill, which is this Cryo flower thing, it deals damage, right? And it seems like over a course of a couple of seconds, it explodes. I'm pretty sure it does explode when it does have a HP or something like that, similar to Amber's doll, and when that flower gets hit multiple times by the enemies, it's going to explode. And the big thing right here is it gives energy particles. Alright, that's going to be very important to factor in, and I think Ganyu is going to fit into a lot of Cryo comp for sure. Alright, if you have Kea, if you have like Chi-Chi like me, right? So I think that's going to make her excel extremely well, because if you go to Cryo, you're gonna get 15% extra crit rate on enemies affected by Cryo, which is pretty OP. And this skill reminds me of a combination of Mona's elemental skill and Amber's elemental skill, but it looks like it's much better than Amber's doll for sure, because Amber's doll will only generate energy particles when it explodes, but this thing can generate energy particles when you place it down, which is pretty cool. Alright, and the last skill, Celestial Shower Elemental Burst. Now this entire kit looks OP. Alright, this particular elemental burst, it looks like the area is pretty huge, but I'm not sure how does it shoots down the arrow. Like, does it actually targets the enemy, or is it randomly in that super huge big AoE, right? So that's something that we still have to find out later on. There's no numbers right here. All we can see is roughly how the skill works and interacts. So this can give us a rough idea on how we want to kit out Ganyu. Now, as you can see, I have been farming in this Cryo domain for the last couple of days, at least for the last 3 to 4 days. Okay, hopefully trying to get some Cryo set. Now, if you intend to pull for Ganyu, for sure, I think the Cryo set is going to be very beneficial for her. Now, at least for the 2-piece, right? If you want to go 4-piece, I do think it's going to be, you know, viable if you make her as a main DPS. But that's the thing that we have to try to see first. She could be potentially much more of a support, but either way, I do think she's going to fit well in a lot of teams. If you run pyro teams, she's going to fit well to help you with a melt composition. Alright, and if you run another Cryo, you can go for that 2 Cryo like I mentioned earlier. You have Kea DPS, you want to do that. I have a Chi DPS myself, and I'm going to try to include her to hopefully try to make this work. And looks like the main artifact for her is going to be the Cryo set for sure. Alright, at least for the 2-piece, right? I'm not too sure if you want to go for the 4-piece. And depending on how good this particular elemental burst is, I might actually go for 2-piece Cryo and 2-piece Noblesse Oblige, where you get a boost in your elemental burst for 20%, so that's going to be beneficial. Now obviously, there's a lot of ways that you can go for this. If you're trying to build her slightly on the main DPS side, you can go for 2-piece Cryo and 2-piece Gladiators, right? But that seems to be in the general direction that we're heading. Ideally, you want to lock down at least 2-piece of the Blizzard set on her for sure, to increase her Cryo damage by 15%. And try to have some goblets, spare goblets with Cryo damage bonus available, because that's all she looks to be doing so far. Now, ideally, if she is meant to be a support role, DPS unit, like a DPS support kind of character, I feel like Stringless is going to be the best in slot for her. But if you plan or intend to use her charge skills, alright, there's a lot of bows that can fit that role. Something like Airmo's bow for 5-star, the Prototype Crescent for the craftable 4-star, or you could go for something like the Messenger if you intend to use a 3-star. I'm not too familiar with that, but I heard that that particular weapon is extremely good on something like Amber, for example, where you're just focusing on using the charge shot specifically. Alright, so overall, I think that's about it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Like, what weapon or artifacts do you guys intend to put on your Ganyu? At the time of me recording this, I know she's not out yet, but most likely I'm gonna lean towards 2-piece Blizzard set and 2-piece Noblesse Oblige, because I have plenty of those. I would advise you guys to farm in this domain as much as you can, just to try to get some good sets for her. You know, just be prepared, you know, get ready. Once she comes out and you actually pull for her and obtain her, you want to be able to use her immediately. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.